Hey there, how are you? The DJI Osmo Action has quickly become a name on the action camera scene, a name known for its best-in-class stabilization, good build quality and surprisingly good features at an acceptable price. And it is somehow usual and natural to compare it against the King. So here are the 7 major reasons to choose Osmo Action over a GoPro Hero 7. Welcome, it's the Tech for All channel, and here we inspect cool tech together. So if any questions bothers you, drop me a line in the comments right below this video. I'll start by saying that I like both cameras and I often use both for shooting outdoors. However, at the moment my favorite is the Osmo Action. As a tech reviewer that pays special attention to action cameras, here are my top 7 reasons why I chose it over the Hero 7. This doesn't make the GoPro model bad, not at all. Often these opinions could be subjective and down to personal preference, so at some points you might think otherwise or have a different motive to choose one of them over the other. So, going for my major reason, and that's something I actually got stunned with when testing with the Hero 7 Black for the first time, and in my opinion the Hero 6 was much easier for navigation and menu fine-tuning. I think the Osmo Action is overall much easier to configure and handle and control. Buttons have very good placement and the touchscreen is extremely tidy. Yes, I'm talking about general user experience. There are no complications with the menu navigation and the swiping actions are very convenient. A lot of them actually resemble the navigation of the Hero 6, and to me it is hard to understand why GoPro decided to change to a different layout, which is in my opinion a downgrade. With the Osmo, swiping actions will let you quickly access the main settings, the resolution options, the advanced settings, and to review the footage you've just shot. It is all easy to understand and happens in a natural way, and to me the Osmo Action is right now the most user-friendly camera to operate with. Also, I like a lot the fact it has excellent LED illumination and possibility for very loud beeper, which immediately indicates the start or stop of a video recording. You've got the possibility to switch the camera off, but also the chance to simply turn the screen off if you have quiet moments but want to be milliseconds away from your next shooting. Also the most natural way to dim the screen or increase the playback volume, and that is so fantastic. On top of that, you're allowed to customize the menus and to only add the things that often matter to you, and disable these that you usually don't use, which clearly underlines DJI's commitment to be as closer as possible to what a user will need. Well done! The second really big and major option, I'd say this is the real game changer, the front display, and it is amazing. I remember the first attempts to get sort of the possibility for framing yourself, and there was the selfie mirror on the Firefly cameras. Having a dedicated display is so convenient. When I'm shooting scenes for the channel with the GoPro, there were so many cases where I just go in front of the camera, record like 10 seconds, go to the backstage, review the recording, fix the position, and again. And again. Or sometimes when it is too difficult to get the right angle, I was using the smartphone app, but that's another extra pillar of complexity. With the front display, all these troubles are almost gone. I use it all the time. Can it be better? Certainly, but even so it is excellent. And the thing I'm most happy about, the DJI actually brought innovation. Think about it. Very first action camera from their side, and they add a feature that likely will appear with the Hero 8. Going for number 3, Dewarp. I like Dewarp because it often masks the fact I shoot footage with an action camera. Dewarp makes the distortion caused by the wide-angle lens to go away, and yes, GoPro Hero 7 Black has the linear mode, but linear mode is supported only with 2.5K resolution, and Osmo Action offers it with 4K. And for me this difference can be quite significant. No more upscaling, not that upscaling is bad, but sometimes you have to, on top of upscaling, you gotta crop the frame, and recording in 4K offers way more possibilities for post-production. Here's an example how you can highlight part of the frame, a simple zoom-in effect in the free-to-use video editing software VSDC. Since the Osmo Action footage comes at a high bitrate, it allows adding a lot of color correction effects, and you can find plenty of them in VSDC. I was able to effectively use the software for creating most of the underwater comparison video between GoPro Hero 7 Black and DJI Osmo Action, but fitting footage side by side for comparison is just part of it. 4K support, picture-in-picture modes, problem-free encoding in various formats, a lot of built-in plugins and easy-to-use interface make it one of the most attractive video editing solutions that you can use for free. And a big thanks to VSDC for sponsoring the video. Check the description below for more information and special download links. Fourth top strength, the battery life. I can't recall having seen info from DJI about it, but recently I saw a research showing 63 versus 45 minutes in the highest resolution. That's like more than 30% on top of what the GoPro can do. I haven't done any benchmark tests myself and overall was happy with the GoPro's battery life anyways, but it is a fact that I now charge the camera not so often and have never ran in the situation to be without juice. Thought of ordering a few spare batteries, but in time I reconsidered. That's how good the Osmo Action battery is. On top of that, while with the Hero 7 you can maintain the current percentage by connecting external power, the DJI product actually lets you charge and shoot simultaneously. So get a power bank and any kind of possible battery complications are gone. At number 5, I've placed the buttons. Not only the fact about having dedicated display button, it's also because they feel nicer, they're clickier, they are bulkier, and you can so easily sense them without even looking. And there's no button on the side, which for the GoPro Hero was often an obstacle, especially if you want to use any of these third-party vlogging cases or some gimbals. Firmware goes to number 6. The DJI Osmo Action feels unstoppable. Didn't experience a single freeze, not even once. Everything is very responsive. The GoPro, it gets better in time, but there's still way to go. And the firmware should be optimized. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but should be better because of the laggy menus and this horrible delay of reaction, especially when powering off. Here they are side by side. Make sure to notice the time between initiating the power on procedure and the camera being ready to capture. And this is even more obvious when trying to power off the devices. GoPro had enough time to optimize the GP1 processor, and maybe they should consider going back to Umbrella or designing a new version of their own. And I've put it as a last, but certainly not the least in terms of importance, HDR Mode. High Dynamic Range in video mode. It's awesome. Much more detail, better blacks, vivid colors. I'm so sad you can't use stabilization with it, and it is locked at 30 FPS only, but it is what it is. We know that it's there, and if you want to go more cinematic, use a gimbal, and if needed, add some additional software-based stabilization, and you're done. So these are my main 7 reasons to prefer the Osmo Action over the Hero 7. And I will repeat again, I like a lot the GoPro Hero 7 camera, and it is an awesome model, and I still often use it. And the Osmo Action is not without its flaws, like the external microphone uncertainty. By the way, I do have a connector which makes the camera show temporarily a microphone icon. There are sometimes troubles with the white balance if it is in auto mode, and you can see the gamma jumping in some scenes. There's a serious audio sync issue when recordings get split due to the file size limitation. There's too much compression added to the DJI's video codec, which makes it tough to be played on slower computers, and so on and so forth. We can clearly say one thing: the Osmo Action is in many ways as good as the Hero 7, in some ways better than it, and in other few worse than it. So which one of both do you like better, and do you see another reason to praise the DJI Osmo Action for? Let me know in the comments below. Stay fresh, be happy, take good care of yourself. Gonna miss you guys, but hey, let's get in touch using the comments, and I'll be back in a few days. Cheers!